So I'm pretty much just taking a nice quick walk around. Probably not quickest of quick, but I mean, it's going to be over 10 minutes probably. Just to get out in the morning sun, have a little bit of a breather before I go inside and work on the computer. So this morning I haven't really done much, just had breakfast and I let the chickens out and fed the birds. And, reassured the dog that they would not be alone forever since their owner went out. But apparently I have to look up airfares just to see if there's a flight that I want to catch that's cheap. I tend to dawdle a lot with flights. You just want it to be the cheapest thing ever. And you're like, I don't essentially know if I want to actually catch a flight, but I already bought a CD Walkman because my other two, I have like two of them. They're just in storage with all my stuff. So my other two are like in storage and stuff. So what is that? Some sort of fog? Plastic. Ew, someone's burnt plastic filtered. Came over here. Ew. I should pick that up. But I was thinking about taking a flight. I haven't taken a flight forever though, and I'm sort of worried that I don't really want to take a flight anywhere. I got my flu shot already. I have no idea if it had a mixture of flu and COVID shot. Last thing I want to do is catch COVID. I essentially was going to take a trip, so I just need to get some CDs from the library, listen to some CDs. It's a 4-day trip, so go there, spend a few days, come back. Like the last holiday, there'll probably be something to do. I'll go for a walk along the beach. I'm thinking I should probably be putting on my bracelet to make my skin go down so that I can swim in pools. But I was considering that like yesterday, today. Because the last thing you want to do is go on holiday and be like, I can't go for a swim because my skin's not good. So instead of considering the prospect of it, I'm not sure. It's only like a week and a bit, I think, before I go on the first trip, which is to the Gold Coast. So we have to get these flights booked, but they're like $200 or $300 a ticket away. You're like going, what are all these prices? What is the concept of money really? But I keep thinking I don't really want to go. Like, do I really want to catch a plane? And it's like, no, not really. I was just going to do it for the experience and the trip, I essentially don't really want to go anywhere, and there's no imagining why I should think that I would do international modeling anyways in the future. It's like, but I thought, well, if I have an interest in doing modeling in the future, I better get back on those planes and condition myself, because sometimes when you don't know it, you haven't been in a plane in a while, it's like you freak out because you don't know the airports at all. But it's like going to Sydney. Sydney has the worst public transport. It just doesn't come, so you're at the airport, you're wanting to leave the airport, and it's like you click on the taxi button, an hour and later the taxi doesn't even come. And then you're like, oh, what do I do? And it's like, I don't like Uber. I never catch Uber. Because the drivers just muck around. But then you're like, what do I do? It's like, there's a bus across the road somewhere, and it's like, I used to catch this public transport bus, and when you like, without knowing that, it's like very confusing. But I was gonna say that, but anyway, I was gonna go on this trip, but I've already got a headache, and I didn't really want to go. And then I think to myself, who says you're gonna get modeling gigs in the future? So it would probably appease the other person's mind for me not to go and stay here and look after the animals. I was gonna go. Yeah, I don't know. I could not go and just ease my soul, but I did want to go originally. Like, it's only a few hours, listen to music. But, I don't know. I was so annoyed last night. I had this cheap Thompson used CD Walkman, and it was like $18 plus $10 shipping, and I was like, ooh, that's cheap. And I put it in my cart, and I was fumbling around with getting a gift card, and within 1 minute someone else had purchased it. And so when I went to purchase it, I was like, sorry, your item isn't available. And I was like, how can someone purchase just as I am about to purchase? I should have just purchased it and not fumbled around with the gift certificate, because I had to pay double for a new one. So instead of paying like $28 something, I ended up paying $45 for a new one. So essentially it's not huge, but I would have preferred the cheaper version. Oh, this is cute. New little basil plant, is it? We need more basil plants. We need more herbs around the chicken pen too. But yeah, that was a big letdown. I was like, how can someone just like how can someone buy just because I want to buy? You know, it was sitting there for like all day, and no one had bought it. And just as I'm just about to buy it, someone magically buys it. So I think the seller, found that since I'd carded the item, I was going to buy it, and then they got someone they knew to buy it instead. I don't know, but it's like, is that just the worst coincidence that someone else suddenly wants to buy something that I've decided that I want to buy? It's like, there's no coincidence about it. Such a big letdown. This lantern needs to be trimmed right back. I like the ones against the fences, but it needs to be trimmed. I keep the ones against the fences so that they can support the fence line when the winds come. All this needs to be hacked though. Still got saved aloe vera plants all over the place. They seem to be doing okay. This is a $8 plant we bought. It's going to turn into a nice little bush. My little aloe vera plant that was here was replaced by this aloe vera plant. So I don't know why people can't just leave the ones that I plant alone. Yeah, but I was essentially going to go on this trip, and I was like, because I haven't been to the other state for a while, and it's like nice to reconnect with it, I guess. People generally don't like me there, but I don't care about other people. I had a bad experience there, and I was living with people I just didn't want to live with, and before I left, it was just a mess of weird ass thoughts and feelings. So, but I've sort of recovered since while living up here. I'm really just going for the trip. It's not like. Did I have like 5 elevators? There's one elevator plant. Where are the others? Why this grass is here. Don't like to tread over grasses and into things. I think they've possibly been dug out. The other ones, there's like a row of them. That kind of pisses me off. I don't like planting things and having things pulled down. And you're like, oh, where's my plant? And then it's like, yeah, I peeled it out. I generally just gardened it out. This is like some sort of tree. I haven't seen these bushes. It's looking good. A good little collection despite the murder of my plantings. Needs more bushes. More trees. Could do with a bush. It definitely needs more bushes because when the wind comes from this direction, all this fence line just is covered with wind. So it needs more really thick bushes. I would put like even a hedge close to this fence line because hedges block out a lot of wind. But a lot of people in this area don't like hedging. They like trees and bushes, individual bushes, not hedging. I don't care what you like and what you don't like. I want a hedge. That plant looks nice. That one over there, it's purple. It's a nice native bush. These poor plants. They just don't look like they're doing well. I didn't dig them very deeply though. It's probably their issue. Look over here. Autumn weather's gotten here. These were flourishing with leaves. Now they're bone dry. No leaves left. That's alright. They'll get leaves in the spring. These are good trees, but they grew natively. They just sprout out of the ground. I don't know what kind of trees they are. And they like to grow in this area. But they're just young trees. They're not really that old. A lot of trees here are quite young because they just sprout and then they just grow, and it's like they're not that old. I think the older trees are at the front, and yeah. Little chickens are being very friendly. You can pet them now. Patted some this morning. They want more watermelon, but they ate it. Yay, all your watermelon yesterday. We had one more watermelon of the season. The parent doesn't really get the idea that they shouldn't move that great because they scraped their claws against the plants and they probably pulled out the roots. They're doing very well. I just hope the weather's good if we both do end up going on the holiday so that they are nice and alive when we come back. They're Pretty chooks. That one, the big one in the back there reminds me of a rooster. She has a composure of a rooster. Yeah. I don't have a lot to do today, just besides admiring flowers. I should take a picture of them while they're like that, but besides admiring flowers and plants. Ooh, artichokes are growing big. I think these two smaller ones are going to have the better artichokes than the bigger one, because usually that's how artichokes are. The bigger ones are no good and the small ones are, and these really didn't last very long with flowering, these sunflowers. Only lasted a couple of weeks. Jeez. Oh, I forgot to show what the birds are doing to these flowers. It's kind of funny when you get up, go for a walk outside, check your garden, and all the flowers have been virtually murdered, or the leaves scattered because birds are pecking at them. So, yeah, that's one thing I noticed. I still feel sad about the little bird that died, but in the ground, dead. Apparently, I haven't like checked it out, but I'll just assume it is. Had a few different opportunities to check it out, like, yeah, only once out of, yeah, but we're possibly going to get some more of them and have them wander around instead of being caged. Let's check this out. I generally hate burials, and I hate things dying, so I haven't bothered to do any more gardening lately. I don't know why. Yesterday I was in the perfect mood to do gardening, because I just didn't feel like doing anything, basically. All these little things down here are a little bit more protected. Because I put some... Could use another load of them though. Because I put some branches up. I've only got like a little bit more to dig. much to do. I'm keeping the bushes near the fence line. I just need to do that one and that little clutch of bushes, and then all the rest can stay. I'll just keep the ones around the fence line because they'll block out the wind. I could do some today. I don't know if I'll feel like it. I might consider it this afternoon. That one there has to be chopped back too. I don't know what these I was told these are possibly wattles. I don't know what these fruity things. Maybe they are wattle. They look like wattle now that they're growing up, but there's so many. It's like you're just gonna let the wattle, these ones grow, and it's like, look at this. It's quite deep. Yeah, I think we have bush turkeys around here. There was some sort of bird that I found on the other property next door when I looked in that corner. So it's like, could be just some sort of turkey that comes out lurking to scratch around. I realized, so that would make sense. But yeah, there's another. Off I did it really quickly. There might be just a day, one more day's worth of snipping. But no, I would say 2 days, because I generally tend to just do things in patches. And then we got that huge bush. This area, all these little saplings need to be all chopped down. So, I don't know why we're growing trees. There's too many trees. It generally looks better. Everyone seems to enjoy the walkway. It just needs to be developed. But yeah, I don't know if we'll bother developing this paddock or just keep chopping the ones that grow that are lantanaed back, and then just keep it pretty natural, because there's things that all self-seed and grow. It's like this back paddock, this is all just self-seeded growth. All these wattles and things, they just self-seed and keep growing, and you're like, well, as long as you cut back the bushes. I swear there's like snakes in here. I think they're so far. It looks better, but still is lots of stuff that needs to be hacked. All this is just dead undergrowth. Got some old bushes in there. I don't know if I'll be bothered hacking that totally back. It's like just a big job. It's a really big job. I just snip it a bit at a time, and then I got all this. So the grass is turning into wheat. I've got lots of bushes here. Could spend a whole year hacking little bits of this at a time. And I said, do you even want to keep all these bushes? It's like, I probably will. It's too big a job to pay for. The annoying thing is I spent $15,000 to clear this, and then they're not bothering to keep it cleared, so... I don't know what kind of tree that is. That tree has to be, the slanted one has to be cut down too. But it's got green on it. Maybe it'll keep standing. Just need to keep putting bushes there. Cuttings underneath to keep it strong, I guess. Might somehow recover. It's just been blown down by the wind. It's an awkward slant. Like all these are wind blown during storms. Won't get in the thick of things too much. Got my turkey ducks on, don't want seeds all over them. I should cut those and put them under these trees for just mulching, I guess. I like these trees. Apparently this is the sill, but it doesn't look as big as it should. It's supposed to go out to 1.5 meters, and you're not going really. That doesn't look like 1.5 meters. It's like it's a little lazy, stunted job. And there should be 2. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna go inside and do whatever I feel like doing, and see how things go.